Good evening and welcome to this UPSL playoff quarter-final game between our hosts this evening, Lakeland United, and the visiting Intercity FC. My name's Mark Turner. I'm your commentator this evening here with the Veda Media team. Delighted to be covering this Florida West Conference match in the Premier Division. It should be a fantastic contest. Two teams that are very closely matched, very similar records throughout the season. Playing in a rather humid evening. It's low 80s right now, but we've had some rain earlier today, so it's going to be quite humid and a little stuffy, but of course these teams will be largely used to these conditions. Take a look at the team comparisons throughout the season. You can see that Lakeland United ended fourth in the conference. Intercity tucked in just behind them in fifth with very similar records, identical goals for records, but the difference coming in goals against. Lakeland United having a slightly tighter defence than Intercity this year. And in fact, when these two teams met back on May 25th, the difference was just one goal. On that occasion, Lakeland United running out 2-1 victors. Here we have confirmation of that final conference result. Again, Lakeland United just one spot above Intercity FC, only 3 points separating them by the end of regular season, but both teams doing enough to make it into postseason and this quarter-final game here today. I'm going to give you the rundown of Lakeland United starting 11. Lakeland, of course, excuse me, in their very familiar sky blue with white trim, aka the Swans. In goal, number 25, Daniel Mello. Number 2, Braxton Richards. Number 4, Joao Almeida. Number 15, Pedro Alejandro. Number 18, Gabriel Martins. Number 21, Yuki Yoshida. Number 8, Reno Ishida. Number 31, Pedro Ramos. Number 9, Vitor Mendonca. Number 27, Gabriel Slema. And number 37, Kanata Takahashi. Head coach, Pedro Ivo. And for Intercity FC, in goal, number 1, Claudio Joffrey. Number 5, Christian Fevrier. Number 21, Luis Tobar. Number 6, Samir Spalding. Number 8, Isaac Herrera. Number 19, Anthony Gagliardi. Number 4, Andre Rocha. Number 16, Harvey Sarajian. Number 9, Jacob Tetebi. Number 17, Alejandro Castang. And number 14, Alex Mendez. Intercity FC head coach, Herbert Patillo. So with the starting 11s covered, and the form guide shared, and the final league table also shared out with you all, we are just waiting for the players to conclude final warm-ups before the game gets underway. For those of you not familiar with Bryant Stadium or where it's located, we are kind of in west central Florida here, just east of Tampa. It's about 2 hours 15 minutes between these two clubs. Intercity FC being based in Fort Myers, south of Tampa. Straight shoot though, up the coastline. Like I said, a little over 2 hours. The Bryant Stadium. We can see the two teams have comparable form records over the last 5 matches as well, although they arrived at them in different fashions. In the last 5 games, Lakeland United with 2 wins and 3 draws, perhaps running out of a little bit of steam toward the end of the regular season. Intercity, 3 wins, a draw and a loss. Obviously never happy to to pick up a defeat, but to get 3 victories in their last 5 games suggests a little bit of a head of steam. And I'm sure they're champing at the bit to get to the field and take on Lakeland United this evening. Real contrast of the pastel colours this evening in the uniforms. Lakeland United with that sky blue, and Intercity with that, what do you call that? It's pink, clearly, but dusky pink? I don't know. Anyway, this is in a Sherman-Williams commercial. Other paints are available. It does make for a nice contrast between the 2 uniforms. And we have the referee and the line officials in their canary yellow. We have all the colours going on this evening. With Lakeland United finishing season 1 place above Intercity and 3 points ahead of them, and also this being a club that has secured 3 conference championships in the past, you'd have to imagine, and of course with them being the home team this evening, you'd have to imagine they do go into this game as favourites. But Intercity are going to have something to say about that. They're a talented team, technically very strong. They will be anxious to cause an upset. Now, I hesitate to use the word upset. Again, there's very little between these 2 teams. But if Intercity are indeed the underdog this evening, they will be keen to secure that victory and head into the semi-finals. At the bottom of your screen, you can see those players who are on the bench for Lakeland United at the beginning of the match, players they'll be able to draw from should they need to change up tactics or switch out tired legs. Likewise, at the bottom of the screen now, you can see the subs for Intercity. Players who I'm sure will be anxious to get on the field of play and be able to contribute to what they hope will be a playoff victory this evening. So both teams well stacked, lots of options for both coaches. Let's get this UPSL quarterfinal Florida West Conference Premier Division game underway. Lakeland United to kick us off. Lakeland in the blue going from right to left on your screen, and Intercity FC obviously going from left to right. Just waiting on final whistle from the referee, and we are underway. Lakeland, a nice early period of possession. Just knocking it around, seemingly give every player a touch. Even the goalkeeper. No, goalkeepers do enjoy that, although that touch is a little wayward. Lakeland having to scramble to clear their lines a little bit. Intercity trying to take advantage down the left-hand side. Doing a nice job of gathering the ball under, only to lose it under the heat of a Lakeland tackle. Lakeland back in possession again. This time trying to forge a path down the left-hand side, playing the ball out wide. Nice feet, but well watched by Inter. The ball now spins its way out to a Lakeland player, who I think finds himself offside in the process. Free kick, long and deep, headed well by a Lakeland defender, but spins off his head and goes behind him. Into City again, trying to apply some pressure. Lakeland clearing the lines well, but headed back by Intercity, deflected out again by Lakeland. They don't really have numbers though, so wisely play the ball back, look to maintain possession once more. Mello in the Lakeland goal. As passes out, wow, this time, but the ball goes loose from a defender, but Mello responds. Looks like there was a flag for offside, perhaps. But the ball wasn't placed for that. Instead, Mello, lovely sidewinder out to teammate out wide. A nervy moment at the back there from Lakeland. It was good work from Mello in goal, but the defender just getting a little heavy-footed, not able to maintain possession. And again, Lakeland turning it over cheaply in the back. Intercity now with an early shot. It gets deflected by the defender, and that's easy for Mello. Lakeland swinging between being eminently composed and also incredibly twitchy. Let's just settle down a little bit. Intercity have started the game out hot, anxious to chase everything and put Lakeland under pressure, perhaps sensing a little bit of nerves on the part of Lakeland. I guess it's the Battle of the Birds this evening, it just occurred to me. Lakeland United's nickname is the Swans. And of course, Intercity very prominently displaying a flamingo in their logo. Who wins in a fight between a swan and a flamingo? Personally, I wouldn't want to face an angry version of either of those feathered friends. Both are a little terrifying to me. But anyway, Lakeland with the ball again, sliding into the middle, but again, a little heavy-footed. Intercity not able to take advantage on this occasion. And again, turning the ball over. I think Lakeland are just making it a little obvious. Certainly there's some heavy touches in the back, but when they look to distribute out the back, they are rather putting a postage stamp on it. The address on the envelope is very clear to the Intercity players, who are doing a nice job of intercepting the mail and putting Lakeland under pressure in the defensive third. Lakeland are going to want to tidy that up a little bit. Meantime, though, it's Intercity trying to find a route down their left-hand side. Nothing doing on this occasion. Lakeland back in possession. First touch for Claudio Joffrey in the Intercity goal. So both teams just looking a little disjointed at this moment in time. Not quite finding a rhythm here in the first 5 minutes. It's not to be unexpected, though, in a playoff quarter-final match. I mean, this is a game for all the marbles. There will be no ties this evening. There will be no replays. It's regulation, it's additional time, and if needs be, it's penalty kicks. One of these teams will leave here today a victor and secure a place in the semi-finals. The other, their season will be over. Be a little nerve-inducing, as you might imagine. long ball into the channel, trying to pick out Ishida. Asking a bit too much from him on that occasion. City's Achilles heel this regular season has been their defeat column. I suppose that seems pretty obvious, right? The team wants to do better. It typically needs to lose less. They lost 4 of their 11 games this season, but had they been able to even register one additional victory, you may have an opportunity here. Intercity trying to maximise on the goalkeeper being far out of his goal. Good work from the defenders, though, scrambling back to try and close down the options. Intercity, though, still in possession in the box. Could be dangerous. Dogged defending from the Swans. Intercity, they're not giving up the ghost. They may have a shooting opportunity here on the right-hand side. Again, valiant defending from Lakeland. Thought Castang was going to get a shot off on the right-hand side. There just seemed to be some confusion in the Lakeland defence. Mello came out of the goal to try and take care of things and really just exacerbated the problems. And then it was all hands to the pump as both teams scrambled to win the ball. Long throw into the box, Lakeland head away. Lakeland were anxious to clear, of course, and Intercity, excuse me. That probably won't be the last time I do that tonight. Intercity, of course, trying to create an opportunity to get a shot off. Oof, heavy tackle there, easy free kick. That could leave a little Charlie horse. Anyway, as I was saying, had Intercity been able to convert even one of those 4 defeats into a victory, that would have been enough to see them leapfrog Lakeland, which I suppose wouldn't have had much bearing on tonight's match, other than I suppose they may have changed locations. We may be seeing this game in Fort Myers, the home of Intercity, instead of here in Lakeland, the home of the Swans. But that's all history now. All that matters is what happens here in front of us. And it is Lakeland with the ball out on the left-hand side. We're looking to distribute a long throw-in from here. In fact, they do go short. Ball comes into Richard. Richard slides it across now to Almeida. Almeida nice and composed. Good turn. Maybe an opportunity here to get a shot on goal. Good cover from Intercity. Not really needed to come earlier from Lakeland. Smart play though through the centre of the park. I think it was Almeida who played the ball into the channel. I'd love to see that opportunity again actually when we have a second. A Lakeland player rolled the ball, allowed it to go through for a teammate, and at that point there really should have been a shot. Shot wasn't forthcoming. Intercity did well to recover in defence. But it's Lakeland in possession now. Good period of possession for them. But right as I say that, Intercity able to steal the ball back. Nothing really then for them to counter with, though. Only one player ahead of the ball. They recycle through the middle and now playing the ball down the right-hand side. Good battling out here on the right-hand side. It's Richards dispossessed. And the referee decides it was unfairly wrestled off the ball by Sarajian. Competition, though, between Richards and Sarajian. Seemed like 6 of one and half a dozen of the other there, honestly. Oh, again, another heavy tackle. The referee keeping his cards firmly in his pocket at this early stage, which I don't hate. Sometimes referees can start flashing the cards a little too early and really affect the game quite negatively. That being said, 2 heavy tackles in relatively quick succession, just a couple of minutes apart. I'm just going to want to keep an eye on that. And then we have a third. And this time, he is jogging over to get a little closer to where the foul took place. I thought perhaps he was just going to have a conversation with the player, but okay, that's exactly what he's doing. Went to his back pocket. I thought maybe he was pulling out cards there. But it is just a Lakeland free kick. Pretty dangerous position here if the delivery is good. Leaves the ball for a teammate. A particularly good free kick, but not particularly good defending either from Intercity. Might slide under the goalkeeper, and it does! And that's the first goal of the game from Vitor Mendonça for Lakeland United. Wasn't a particularly good free kick, but the defending was even worse. Ball bounces up, Intercity just allowing it to spin in behind the defence, and Mendonça, the slightest of touches, manages to tuck it under the on-rushing Claudio Joffrey in the Intercity goal. Jakob Tatebi in the Intercity defence, I'm sure, would like that one back. It was he who allowed the ball to bounce up. So we're going to see here again in the replay. Really into the path of Mendonça, who does a nice job of holding off his defender. Very brave as well. And Joffrey was coming out feet first. Mendonça only had eyes for goal, and he got his just desserts, putting Lakeland United into the lead in the 12th minute. United looking to attack again. Don't have numbers in their favour on this occasion, but they might not need him. Lovely little turn. Ball chipped now into the channel. Good work again from Mendonça, trying to set up a teammate on this occasion. Again, brave work there from Lakeland. Trying to maintain that pressure. But with neither team really being able to get into their rhythm in the first 12-13 minutes, I suppose it was perhaps inevitable it would be a mistake that would lead to the opening goal. Now that Lakeland United have it, perhaps they'll settle down a little bit and we'll see the best of them. Intercity are obviously going to be steaming after conceding that goal. They'll be anxious to get back to level pegging. So that early strike can hopefully bring out the best in both teams now. It's Mendonça again, who's at the heart of everything. It's a cheeky little drag back, but just a little too heavy for his teammate. I'm trying to remember, there used to be a player that played in the English leagues by the name of Mendonça. I want to say Clive. I think he played in the top flight, but I'm pretty sure it was before the Premier League. Anyway, I'm rambling at this point. I will check it out at half-time, if for only my own interest. But if it yields anything that I think might be interesting to you, viewers and listeners, I'll share that out at half-time. But certainly Mendonça is a footballing surname that's familiar to me. And this evening it's familiar to everybody who's watching this match, because it is Mendonça's strike that is the difference so far. Out from the left-hand side, and the ball does find its way out. Again, I think it's Mendonça on the ball, and Yoshida's outside of him and screaming for it, and we'll get it if that ball isn't too heavy. It is too heavy. Nice break from Lakeland though, sliding the ball from right to left. Just tighten up that passing in the final third. Additional opportunities may come their way. The ball comes out now to Yoshida, who cuts inside. Nice feet. Hooks it into a teammate, rolls inside of him to receive it. Ball instead gets drilled out to the back post. Lovely touchdown on the chest, and it's the second goal for Lakeland United. He didn't catch it as cleanly as he might like, but he won't care. Takahashi, Lakeland United, second of the evening. Beautifully constructed goal. Starts here on the left-hand side with Yoshida, who tucks it inside. Ball comes back across to the middle. think it's Mendonca who chests it down. Again, Takahashi not getting particularly good contact, but that perhaps did him a favour because Joffrey really wasn't quite sure where that ball was going. I think perhaps he was preparing himself to try and save a crisp half volley, but with the ball spinning down in the ground and back up again, that just seemed to distract him momentarily, and before he knew it, the ball was in the back of the net. Lovely play from Takahashi, from Ramos, from Mendonca with the assist. Yoshida, that the play started with. Really good play all the way around. Lovely move from Lakeland. Well, I speculated, once Lakeland's had that first goal, perhaps they'd settle down and we'd start to see the best of them. And that was pretty darned good. Into City with a little bit of a mountain to climb. Mendonca chasing this one through. Composed defending by Intercity, not taking any risks. That was Tatevi as well, who was at fault for the first goal from Mendonca, so I'm sure he wouldn't be eager to give Mendonca another easy sight on goal. Lakeland just seem to be oozing with composure now. Oh, good turn from Mendonca. Rolling the ball back to Richards. Richards plays it out to the far side. Empty chip into the channel. Into City, defending well, but not distributing particularly well. Almeida going to shadow the ball out of play. It wasn't going, so he decided to go home to Melo instead. Good work from Intercity, getting upfield quickly and putting pressure on Lakeland high up the field. Not the best distribution from Melo. Yoshida tries to carry the ball. Mendonca wins it back, but unfairly according to the referee. Spalding spinning it out to the left-hand side. Intercity just not able to get any kind of groove right now. Everything just seemed a little fractured. I'm sure they're feeling a little shell-shocked having conceded 2 goals in a little over 2 minutes. Still plenty of time to go. There's still 25 minutes and change to go in this half, so no need to panic. That's a lovely ball into the box, just a little too far, but nice gather out on the left-hand side. Oh, nice drag! It's a shot across the face of goal. Well, Melo had to drop and cover it. It's good work out on the left-hand side. Rolls the ball back. Love the bottom use of the bottom of the foot here. Creates the opportunity for that left foot strike. It's a little further out than it initially looked. Or perhaps it was closer to the post. Melo dived just to make sure, I think. But that's what you want to see from Intercity. A little bit of giddy up. Gotta keep Lakeland on their toes. Quick throw in from Intercity. Ball into the box. It's a header, comes to the back post. Oh, leaning back. Doesn't get his knee over the ball. Makes decent enough contact, but given that he's leaning back, that was only ever going to go in one direction. You can see here. Needed to keep his head over the ball. At least get it on frame. That's two decent chances for Intercity in the space of the last, what, 60, 90 seconds? They do say in football that 2-0 is the most dangerous lead. Not sure if there's data to support that, but it does feel like whenever a team is leading 2-0, if the other team score the next goal, crazy things can happen. But Intercity, that has to be in your mind. I imagine you'd be extremely anxious to score the next goal. Lakeland United, you can't rest on your laurels. 2 strikes this evening might not be enough to secure victory. Oh, nice improvisation in the Intercity defence, and then gives the ball away cheaply. Lakeland trying to make headway down the right-hand side. The referee doesn't go to his whistle, and the linesman doesn't raise his flag, so I think it's just going to go for a corner. Thought for a second there might be a foul, but it was right on the edge of the penalty area. It would have been interesting if the referee had gone to his whistle.
Corner kick for Lakeland United FC.
Instead, Yuki Yoshida takes the ball over for a corner. Okay, keep your eyes on Mendonca, number 9. And also Almeida, number 4. 2 most likely candidates for any well-delivered corner kick here that finds itself high and central. Both of those players are excellent in the air. And that's a pretty good corner, and it does catch a head. Neither of those that I mentioned. It was a Lakeland head, nonetheless. I see a jersey number there. I think it was Braxton Richards, number 2. Didn't quite get the purchase he was looking for. Could have been goal number 3 though, had he connected with it. Nice ball in from Yoshida. I'm partial to a good corner taker. My daughter just finished her junior high school year, during which she and her teammates were able to combine for goals, 4 goals off of corners. Let's come back to that. Let's focus on this. Yoshida on the left-hand side. Well blocked out from an Intercity defender. Quick throw. Rolls it back to Richards. Chips it into the back post. Well headed away. Intercity. Ball playing its way all the way back to Mello. As I was saying, my daughter was the corner kick taker for her high school team. And the team were able to score, it was actually 5 goals from corners this year. She also delivered a free kick they scored directly from as well. So it's always nice to have somebody in your team who can deliver a good dead ball. Assuming you have players who can make the most of it and get on the end of those balls. Just as Lakeland United almost did a moment or 2 ago. I've got all those corners that my daughter delivered on my phone, you know, folks. I could maybe ask the Veta folks if we can hook up my phone at half-time and I can show you the highlights of her season. Maybe not. Maybe not. Email me, DM me, if you want some of those video clips. Oh, heavy tackle from Intercity, easy call for the referee. Now, I do like this energy from Intercity, though. If it's anywhere in that middle third, they harry like Tasmanian devils. They are not prepared to give up on anything. The worst thing you can possibly do with this Lakeland team is allow them to settle on the ball, particularly in that middle third, because they have players in there who are creative, who can pick a pass, and who will slot the ball through the narrowest channel for their runners. So you kind of have to be on top of those players as quickly as you can, and that's what Intercity are doing right now. Getting themselves a throw-in the process.
The referee has indicated that there will be a mandatory water break.
Well, I assume the players are heading off the field here for a brief water break. As I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, it is very humid here in Florida. It's about 80, 81, 82 degrees, but with the rain we had earlier today and the clouds, just seeing that goal back again. Mendonca again slotting the ball under Joffrey. With the rain we've had today and the cloud cover that we have presently, it is making for very stifling and humid conditions. So the players getting some important fluids on board as we watch that second goal. Nice chest again from Mendonca. Again, I think what caught Joffrey out in goal there was that Takahashi leapt to volley the ball, ended up driving it into the floor, but that bounced, caught Joffrey out and resulted in the ball being in the back of the net. And now we see the two opportunities that came in quick succession from Intercity. The first one being flashed across the face of goal, the other one just a little bit of off on the technique, leaning back when he needed to keep his head over the ball in order to make a goal-bound connection. As it was, ended up skying the effort. Intercity still very much in this game, definitely going toe-to-toe with Lakeland when it comes to competitiveness and physicality. Just need to find a way to the back of Lakeland United's net. Get a tally on the scoreboard and get a toehold back in this game. Nice touch from Braxton Richards. Bringing that board out of the air. Now Lakeland looking to build out the back. Ball dinked inside, lovely little flick back, and they're on the counter, and they have good numbers as well. But that's not going to result in anything, and I think the referee could have gone to his whistle there. I'd like to see that one back, and now Lakeland commit their own foul, but you can see that Yoshida is saying, hey, how about the earlier one? See if we can get the tape on that one, guys. Let's see if we can get a replay on. Did look like a, well, to be fair, it looked like a through ball that Lakeland forward was never going to get onto. I think it was Pedro Ramos chasing that ball through. But then it looked like maybe he did get fouled in the process. Long ball out of the back. And to Taby. Lakeland doing a good job of defending it. He can try and spring Mendonca. Well intercepted again from Tatabi. It's now Intercity on the break. Ball through the middle. Good defending, and it's going to be Mello, but Mello doesn't get there, and it could be an opportunity for Intercity! And they had their first goal of the evening! A mistake in the Lakeland United defence. Confusion abounds. And Intercity doing a great job of taking advantage of that. Good build up here. The ball bounces through. Mello's not sure whether to come or not. Ultimately, he hesitates. I think it was Harvey Saragian who scored. It might be Gagliardi. We're going to get you confirmation on that. It's difficult to see from that distance if it was number 16 or number 19, but I think it was one or the other. If we can't confirm the goal scorer on replays, we'll certainly get that for you at half-time. But what's important is that Intercity are on the board on the 30th minute. We have a game on our hands, folks. I said, didn't I, that if Intercity could score next, it might put the cat among the pigeons. You can see that they definitely have a pep in their step now. That goal was reinvigorating for Intercity. It's hard to say that they don't deserve it. They have had 2 or 3 good opportunities so far this evening. They certainly haven't been playing with the same degree of fluidity that Lakeland have, but they have posed threats. On that occasion, they absolutely made the most of it, taking advantage of a moment of hesitancy and miscommunication in the Lakeland defence. Oh, lovely turn from Braxton Richards. Richards continues to carry out the back and then continues his run. He may get on the end of this. It's Yoshida who gets bundled to the floor and it's right on the edge of the box. The referee's decided that that's a free kick and probably a yellow card. That really could have gone any number of different ways. I think there are some referees who may have considered that a penalty kick. There are others that could say, you know what? Yoshida was through on goal. That's a red card. I suppose there is a covering defender coming there. You know what? I'm going to give the referee his flowers. He got that absolutely right. The initial infringement was outside of the box. And the covering defender in the centre of defence, I think, would have had an opportunity to come across and intercept Yoshida. It doesn't mean he could, he would have done necessarily, but I think there was the opportunity for that. It wasn't clear cut. Yoshida wasn't the last man. So free kick and yellow card. Good call from the referee. So now we have Ramos and... So Ramos and Yoshida with the ball. Yoshida to the right, Ramos to the left. It is Ramos straight into the wall. Yoshida gathers the ball up. So we're getting confirmation from our wonderful crew at Veda Media that it was number 16. I was speculating, wasn't I, that it was 16 or 19 who scored for Intercity. We think it was number 16, which was my initial gut instinct, Harvey Sargian. Now Intercity on the break again. Good recovery though in defence. I'm not quite sure what happened there. It almost seemed like the Intercity striker slowed down. Maybe realising he didn't have the pace to beat the defender and wanting to see if there were teammates in support. But ultimately, good defending from Lakeland. Ball down the channel, asking a lot of the striker. Wrestling with one another. Very physical contest there. Good work from Almeida there, managing to hold off the goal scorer. Sargian definitely with a bit between his teeth now. He's got the one goal and he's clearly hungry for more. Game has really opened up. The time has flown by. I usually do 2 or 3 time checks in a half along the way, and I don't think I've done more than the one. Because ever since Lakeland United opened the scoring on the 12th minute, it has been end-to-end stuff, more or less, ever since. This is the beauty of playoff soccer. Good work. Intercity. Good battling from Castang. Castang now trying to get down the right-hand side. Just a little Ronaldo cut. Come back inside. Been pretty heavy with the tackle, but the ball breaks through to Mendonca. Mendonca now comes inside. He gets clipped, but he stays on his feet. A strong player, Mendonca, and now he manages to spin away. And again, rides another tackle. This is fantastic from Mendonca.
Come on, guys.
Ball coming back. Oh, perhaps Lakeland were going to be able to turn that ball over quickly, but it doesn't quite work for them. And they have a recycle through the back now. Braxton Richards, bit of a wayward ball, spins it up into the air. It's Intercity who make the interception initially, but the ball finds its way back to Lakeland, to the feet of Almeida. Almeida back on the ball now, tucks it inside. Good pass to Ramos. Ramos finds Mendonca once more. Mendonca now slides it out to Yoshida. Ball sits up nicely for him. He's in a one-on-one. Rolls it back again to Ramos, who started the play. Good feet from Ramos. Wins his team a throw-in. Ramos, and I say this with love, has that kind of feel of a down the park kind of a player, doesn't he? Socks rolled down, kind of ambling around the field, really conducting the orchestra. Doesn't look high intensity, but he's in the middle of everything. Perhaps a more generous way to describe his play was he's very Iniesta-like. Just kind of pops up, a couple of vital touches, drifts away, and then pops up again somewhere else. Very fun player to watch. Very easy player to spot as well. I think his socks went in the wrong washing machine. Don't look to be the same vibrant blue that his teammates have. I suppose his socks matter very much to his performance. It's he that's on the ball now. Ramos again bringing it out of the air. Again, uses the bottom of his foot to roll the ball around. Completely befuddling the Intercity defenders for a moment. Ball gets chipped into the middle. Joffrey, Johnny on the spot on this occasion. Snatching it out of the air. So with a little over 7 minutes to go in this first half, plus any stoppage, it is Lakeland United leading proceedings. A score of 2-1. First goal being on the 12th minute. Mendonca taking advantage of a mistake in the Intercity defence. Lakeland extended their lead just a few minutes later. Takahashi finishing off a wonderful team move. Mendonca being the provider of the assist on that occasion with a cushioned chest down to Takahashi. It's Intercity on the ball now, who did respond in the 30th minute. They had the opportunity to take advantage of a Lakeland defensive error. And Sarajian notching Inter's only goal of the evening so far. Trying to work the ball at the back, and that was some lovely play, and it has set their wing off down the left-hand side. Into bodies racing up into the box, trying to provide some support and give some options. Win themselves a corner. Excellent battling out there on the left-hand side. The skipper, who won this corner. Ball to the back post. Oh, I thought maybe Gagliardi could get on it. It ended up being flicked away though. He was wide open and unmarked at the back post. It seemed dangerous to leave a player of that ability and that height completely on his own at the back post. Ball didn't find his way to him ultimately though. However, Intercity do now have a throw-in. It's a long one, propelled all the way into the box. It gathered up ultimately by Mello. So there's under 5 minutes and stoppage to go. Intercity are going to want to push to that half-time whistle, see if they can't get some parity before they head back to the locker room. How they'd love to go in at least 2-2 at the half. Nice work from Titabi. Good response by his teammates as well, clearing the ball out, but ultimately it just finds its way to Lakeland. It's Richard sliding it out to the ever-dangerous Toshida. Toshida dinking the ball over the top. You could see what he was trying to do there. Right idea, wrong club. as they say in the golfing world. Lakeland are getting some joy here down the left-hand side. Lovely ball inside now to the goal scorer, Sarajian, who gets unceremoniously bundled to the floor. He asks for a card, which I don't like to see, but I can't also argue with the card itself. I think Sarajian was in a really strong position there. Ball got through. He was definitely away from his man. Yeah, and his standing leg got clipped by Richards. Richards didn't even really need to be there. He was just providing cover. Watch the move again. Sarajian already had a man chasing him down. Richards comes in from behind, clips that standing leg. Now we have a free kick in a dangerous position for Intercity. Actually a similar position to the one that Lakeland had at the other end of the field about 10 minutes ago. Ramos taking that and not making the most of it, just driving it into the wall. Intercity are going to be anxious to drive this into the back of the net. See if they can't go in at half-time. Even Stevens. Looks like it's going to be Tabi, number 9, to shoot. He does! Oh, got a good save from Mello! And you can see, Gagliardi holding his head there. Really not believing that Mello got across and parried that away. That free kick had everything. That was Messi-esque. Squint your eyes a little bit, and with these uniforms and that badge on that jersey, a free kick of that quality, you could almost think that was a little Argentinian. He got it all. He got the height, he got the dip, he got the bend, he got the power. I think in the process, Mello may have gotten some of the post, or just landed heavily, requiring some treatment now from the Lakeland medic. I'm just realizing, I think perhaps a case of mistaken identity on Lakeland's first goal. I've been suggesting that Tabi, in that cluster of players, was the one who got that unfortunate deflection which put the ball in Mendonca's path, the opening strike of the game. I don't think it was Tabi who just took that free kick, and I don't think it was he who was in the centre of the box at that time. So we'll confirm who that player was when we watch the replay at half-time. For right now, it's Intercity with another corner, peeling it into the back post. Headed just wide. I'd love to see that one again. It wasn't too far away. You know what? I think I solved two mysteries there at the same time. So we got to see the corner again and see how far wide it went. That's mystery number 1 solved. That wasn't ever going to trouble Mello. Mystery number 2, the header of that ball was number 5, Christian Bevria Sildor. I believe it was he who deflected the ball into Mendonca's path for Lakeland's first goal. So there you go. Don't even have to wait till half-time. So apologies to Jacob Tabi. You were not culpable for the opening goal of the game. It was one Mr. Sildor. 5 and 6 though do look awfully similar on these jerseys, so I'm not saying concretely that it was Sildor at this point. I have chips on the Sildor number. I also have some chips on the Samir Spalding number. But again, we will solve the mystery definitively at half-time. What I can tell you for sure is it wasn't Tabi. He now with the white boots, standing over this free kick. So now we are into added time, playing at the referee's discretion at this point. Good ball in for Tabi. Oh, Mello misses it. Good cover though from Lakeland United. What great defensive effort. Mello allowed that to slip through his hands. It was great defending from Alejandro, number 15. That was goal bound otherwise. And again, Mello lets the ball pop through his hands. I'm wondering whether or not Mello's connection with the post just a few minutes earlier, or his heavy fall, whatever it was that required a medic come out, has had some kind of impact on him, because that's 2 fumbled balls now in quick succession. It's shot from Inter, but over the bar. Mello looking awfully shaky in the last 60 seconds or so. Really excellent defending from Alejandro, though, on that last occasion. When Mello dropped that ball, it was goal-bound. Had it not been for Alejandro's intervention, we'd have a 2-2 scoreline. Intercity really turning the screw here in the last 6 or 7 minutes. Putting Lakeland under a lot of pressure, winning a number of free kicks. Deciding to go short on this occasion. They look to deliver the ball into the box. That's exactly what they do, but it's too far wide. Mello holding on to it on this occasion. Good hands from the Lakeland goalkeeper. Welcome back, Mr. Mello. Donka's on the ball. He has a little support. There's Takahashi in the box, waiting to see if his teammate can perhaps deliver him something. Not able to get the ball in, but he does win a throw in the process. 3 minutes now into stoppage time. Did have a couple of lengthy stoppages for injuries, so this is not unexpected. The ball into the box from Ramos. Fairly easy for Joffrey. He saw it nice and early, he was able to get positioned and gather the ball up. And that is half. A very entertaining half. Took a little while to get going. First 10 minutes or so, it was just simmering. Neither team really able to find their rhythm. And then Lakeland United did, courtesy of a mistake in the Intercity defence. Mendonca making the most of it and opening the scoring. Just a few minutes later, it was he that assisted the second goal. And Takahashi with a half volley to the ground, catching Joffrey off guard, extending the lead to 2-0. In the 30th minute, Intercity able to get on the board themselves. Sarajian taking advantage of hesitancy in the Lakeland defence. And then Intercity really having the best of the last 10 minutes or so. Could have very easily evened up proceedings. Lakeland United have to be grateful to be going in at the half, leading 2-1. But the game is beautifully paused for an exciting second half. We'll let you enjoy your half-time break, and then we'll return with highlights from the first half, see if we can solve the mystery of who exactly the ball deflected off in the Intercity defence for that first Lakeland goal. And then we'll look forward to joining you for the second period. So we rejoin the game with the second half having just started, a little over a minute into the second period. Lakeland United leading the game 2-1 over Intercity. Lakeland United in the blue jerseys with blue shorts, going from left to right on your screen. Intercity in the pink jerseys, black shorts, going from right to left. Those of you who are joining the game late, this of course is a playoff game. It's a quarter-final playoff game in the Florida West Conference UPSL Premier Division. Oh, good footwork there, and a wild shot back at the net. Or did that just... maybe it hit the crossbar and went down. Oh, it's so hard to see because we weren't able to track that quickly enough with the camera. It wasn't a goal. I think maybe it struck the American football bar, the one just behind the soccer net, and then ricocheted down and rippled the netting, thereby creating the illusion, as our camera scrambled to keep up with the ball, that perhaps the ball had found its way into the back of the net. The trajectory of the shot looked like probably it hadn't, which is why there was some surprise in my voice when I initially announced that it was a goal. But no goal, just a good opportunity and a powerful shot just over the crossbar. But as I was saying, this is a quarter-final game, so of course we have to have a winner this evening. Regulation time, extra time if needed, and then penalty kicks if we have to go there. But there has to be a winner this evening. One of these teams will take their place in the UPSL Premier Division Florida West Conference semi-final. And the other team will have to lick their wounds as they call their season to a close, as they will be done, at least for this year. And right now it is Lakeland United who are taking up a berth in the semi-final, although Intercity just came mightily close to tying things up just a moment or two ago. Much effort to go for the ball on that occasion. So Intercity started the second half the way they concluded the first half. They really were on top for about the last sort of 8-10 minutes of that first half. A lot of high pressing, a lot of free kicks, several really good opportunities. Ball comes back, Intercity dinking it over the top. Defending from Lakeland, trying to clear their lines. Yeah, great defending from Intercity. This really is going to be blow for blow now. Intercity going to be desperate, of course, to get back into this game. Lakeland, I suspect, are going to set a little deeper, maybe try and absorb some pressure, but they are going to be looking for those opportunities themselves to counter, try and extend their lead and potentially put this tie beyond Intercity. It's going to make for a fascinating second half. It looks like we've had a sub at half-time. I think that was Lucas Miranda on the ball just a few moments ago in the centre of Lakeland's defence. Also wearing the captain's armband as well. Which is curious. Trying to figure out who came off the field of play. Scanning it right now, trying to see who might not be out there from the first half. Don't see... No, he's there. Braxton Richards is there. Seeing Almeida. Let's see if we can get that information from our production team. What I can tell you with certainty is that number 5 for Lakeland United, who is down on our roster as Lucas Miranda, is on the field second half. Already nearly 7 minutes into this second period. This is feeling just like the last 10 or 15 minutes of that first half. Time is just racing by. Both teams really going for it. Very entertaining. Almeida rolls it in. To Thlemmer. Ball goes out to the left-hand side now. Toshida is lurking. Ball goes out to Toshida. Good first-time cross into the back post. It's Takahashi, scorer of the second goal, who has it. Lashes it wildly over the crossbar. Very ambitious from that angle. A little bit of footwork here, a little bit of trickery. Makes himself a yard of space, but yeah, to have gotten the ball in and under the crossbar from that angle would have taken something quite extraordinary. Do love the effort though. As we've seen already, Takahashi can produce the sensational. Ball dropping into Mendonca. Slides it out to the left. Intercity intercepting. Lakeland in possession again. Going to thread the ball through the centre of the park. Takahashi looks to dink it in. Mendonca lurking. Ball may still come his way. Cleared out though from Intercity. You remember how I mentioned in the first half? Mendonca's surname is familiar to me in football circles. I speculated it was Clive Mendonca. It was Clive Mendonca. He was actually a forward, which I think is the position that Vitor Mendonca takes up for Lakeland. Clive Mendonca was an English forward who played for Grimsby Town and Charlton Athletic, most notably. Played for one or two other clubs as well, but that's where he had his most purple of patches in goal-scoring terms. Pretty good record, actually. At Grimsby Town, 57 goals in 156 matches, and at Charlton, 40 in 84. That's prolific. Tonight, Vitor Mendonca has had one clear sight on goal, and he's 1 for 1. Also has an assist to his name as well. So it's been a good Mendonca performance up top this evening. He hasn't been alone in that. It's been a good performance really across both teams. Great competitive spirit, an abundance of technique and skill. 3 goals so far. I don't think the scoring is over. Oops. Ended up being a bit of a passenger there, unintentionally. It's Lakeland who come away with the ball. Is Mendonca on the ball now. Lovely little spin, left foot shot, just wide. Great feet from Vitor Mendonca. I think perhaps, did it catch a deflection? Go for a corner? With this wonderful spin from Mendonca. Drag, finds some space, left foot shot. Didn't look like it came off anybody. But evidently it did. Clipped somebody on the way through. Because we have a Lakeland corner. Yoshida stood over the ball. Left foot delivery. Oof, very deep. Almost made something of it, and it's going to come out at the back post, and it's still in possession at Lakeland. In circles a little bit there, Yoshida. Flicks the ball into the box. It's Mendonca! And he scores his brace! You can't let a man like Mendonca have the freedom of your penalty box and expect any other result than that. Yoshida going in circles a little bit. Dinks it out to the left-hand side. Lovely ball into the box. And look at Mendonca. The freedom of Intercity's box. And you knew what the result was going to be. His brace, Lakeland second.
Goal scored by number 9, Vico Mendoza. The score is now Lakeland United FC 3, Intercity FC 1.
Intercity with it all to do, but with plenty of time to do it still. Over 30 minutes plus stoppage still to go. So no need to panic. They've had plenty of opportunities of their own. Just improve their conversion rate. Next goal is going to be critical though. You have to imagine if Lakeland United score again, it's all over as a contest. If Intercity score, again it's cat among the pigeons stuff. Still scratching my head trying to figure out how Intercity were able to leave Vitor Mendonca completely unmarked at the heart of their defence. All the players to allow that ball to drop to, uncontested. You know Mendonca's going to be hungry for the hat-trick now. Good work. The Lakeland goalkeeper. Sweeper. Good work from Lakeland. It's that man Mendonca again. Pulling off what some know as a Maradona. Others would consider to be a Zidane. But whatever it is, it's Lakeland who have stolen the ball and it comes back to Mendonca. Can't manage to find his way through on this occasion. Good defending actually from Intercity. As dangerous as Mendonca is, it could have been very easy to give away a free kick there, but two defenders came together well, timed their intervention. Mendonca not able to get up ahead of steam, although he has the ball back at his feet now and he tucks it inside. Could be an offside. Oh, palmed away, I think, by Joffrey. I think it was Takahashi in behind the defence again. Intercity looking for a flag. It is Takahashi. Lovely ball in from Mendonca. Hands go up. In fact, there may be two players offside. I don't know if Joffrey did get anything of that ball, but either way, Takahashi was offside, and that wouldn't have counted had it found its way to the back of the net. Now we have two players on the floor, one for either team. Running repairs. Schneider, who was putting his cleat back on, seems to be limping just a little bit. Looks like there could be some movement on the subs bench for Lakeland. May see a switch here in a moment or two. An hour in and we have a 3-1 game. Brace from Vitor Mendonca on the 12th and 57th minute, sandwiching a 15th minute strike from Takahashi. On the Lakeland side of the tally, Intercity's only goal so far on the 30th minute coming from Sarajian. Inter have had opportunities to add to that tally. Not made the most of them, clearly, but still very much in this game. But Inter ended the first half strong and started the second half strong. Really not able to make the most of those two brief periods of dominance. Now Lakeland are very much back on top. I mentioned as well, the conditions here are really pretty humid. It's not blisteringly hot. It's low 80s, high 70s. But it is very, very humid. Which I think are the most energy-sapping conditions to play under, particularly when you're playing on turf. You have those little horrible little black rubber pellets underfoot. You just radiate the heat like nobody's business and retain it as well throughout the evening. And Donker being knocked to the floor, asking for the referee for something, getting nothing. Intercity finding themselves offside in the process. Lakeland back in possession.
Substitution for Lakeland United FC, coming off the pitch, number 8.
I just say, on behalf of commentators everywhere, light-coloured jerseys with black numbers on the back are fantastic. Thank you very much to Lakeland United FC and Intercity FC for making it so easy for me this evening to distinguish who the players are. It makes for a much better experience for me and also for the listeners and viewers. Because rather than saying the winger gets the ball and then the guy in the middle puts it in, actually able to put names on things and I think make it again a much more enjoyable experience for everybody. So to those teams who are only interested in aesthetics and think it's a good idea to put a white number on the back of a yellow jersey, Yabu sucks to you. Take your lead from Lakeland and Intercity. They're doing it right. Wild shot over the bar there from Sarajian. He has been just about the biggest threat for Intercity this evening. He's had a couple of looks on goal. Of course, he has the only goal for Intercity so far this evening. Big, strong player, though. Never afraid to take a shot. Just hasn't quite got his bead in this evening. Just the one goal to his name so far. Nice little bit of possession from here from Lakeland, playing out the back into the middle third. A little bit of tick-a-tacker. Oh, but nice interception from Intercity. Well stepped in, and now it's Sarajian on the ball again. He's in a one-on-one situation, although there's cover coming across. Lovely turn! Oh, flashes it wide. Great movement. Shifted his weight from right to left, creating the opportunity to shoot on that left foot. Look at that. Leaves the defender for dead. Oh, just not quite able either to find the back post or put a ball in that a teammate could slide in and roll over the line. So close to doing both. If he managed to pull it in just a couple of extra inches, I think it would have clipped that post and registered into second goal. And if he pulled it out a couple of inches, I think his on-rushing teammate may have been able to get something on it. Direct it goal bound. In the end, it just served as a warning to Lakeland. Chip over the top, surely an offside. It's Takahashi who retrieves it. He has on-runners coming to support him. Oh, that might be a... No, fantastic defence. I saw the referee's arm go up and I thought for a second that was going to be a penalty kick. I was a fan of the tackle, actually. I thought it was a wonderful sliding tackle. And I thought the referee had a differing opinion there for a moment. Ball finds its way out again to number 16. Sarajian, it looks like slide it inside for a teammate, doesn't get it right, and then goes in very heavy-handed. A Lakeland player, here we see the tackle again. Look at this sliding tackle, textbook stuff. Beautiful. He was moving at such pace I couldn't really see the number, unfortunately, because I'd love to tell you who did that. It's Martins down on the floor. He did get clattered. Sarajian. He just seemed to be in a lot of discomfort, although he's up now, flexing his foot. Might have been for the cameras. And there's no doubt he got slammed. Good to see that he doesn't seem to be injured beyond that initial contact. Bit of frustration on behalf of Sarajian there. He was the one who tried to slide a teammate through, got the pass wrong, and tried to retrieve the ball, hitting the foul in the process. Into City again on the attack. Ball slides out to the right hand side. It's number 15, Gabriel De Rocha. He's easily distinguishable, whether you can see his number or not. Big shock of hair. Very easy to pick out. I'm a little jealous. I don't even have a third of that hair. Long throw into the box, headed over the bar. That might be a corner. It is. Heck of a long throw. From Castaigne. Sarajian could have got a flick on there. That might have really been problematic for Daniel Mello in the Lakeland goal. It's a corner though, whipped in, flicked header, comes back. Again, scrappy, bouncing around. Mello comes in and gathers it up. We have two players down, one on each team. They both went in, beats up, maybe caught one another. Let's see here on the replay. There might have been an inter-header. No, it actually came off of a Lakeland player. Head down there, and I think this is where the contact is. Yep. Both went in. Full-blooded. Both got hurt in the process. Glad to see both up now, though. So with a little over 20 minutes and stoppage to go, it is Lakeland United with the 2-goal lead. 3-1 up over Intercity. Intercity, though, still getting sights on goal. Haven't given up the ghost on this game by any means. Desperate to score that next goal. Really starts to turn the screw on Lakeland. Lakeland remaining relatively composed. A couple of little counter chances themselves here in the second half. Takahashi and Mendonca continuing to be threatening at that end of the field. Free kick now to Intercity. Taby stands over it. Taby delivers the ball to the back post, gets cleared by Lakeland. Now they look to counter. It's Mendonca on the ball. Well tackled. I think it might be Sarajian doing that, getting back and putting in a midfielder shift, which you have to always appreciate from a centre forward. Mendonca getting up gingerly. Battle of the Giants there. Two huge players, physical, solid young men, going shoulder to shoulder. Shockwave stuff. Referee has issued a yellow card to a Lakeland player. Couldn't make out which one it was. I think that's the third yellow of the match, which feels about right. It's been a highly competitive match, but it really hasn't been dirty. There's been a couple of late challenges. I wouldn't say it's been particularly salty. So it's Intercity again with a free kick. Once more to Taby, stands over it. He put in a good delivery. Arm goes up, ball goes in. Headed away from Lakeland. Now Lakeland looking to counter, but Takahashi is never going to catch that. Actually, it was Slemmer. I thought it was Takahashi. He's usually the most advanced up the field, but it was number 27, not 37. Gabriel Slemmer, who was like, yeah. I am not Usain Bolt. I'm never going to make that one. Sarajian is all over the place right now. He's leading the line, he's dropping in to receive passes, he's making tackles. He's giving it all for the cause. Trying to drag Intercity back into this match. Oh, nice interception from Intercity. Lakeland United toying with him a little bit. Intercity very much on their toes. When those crossfield balls get drilled over, they do a nice job of jumping in to intercept. Don't always get there, but there's been 3 or 4 occasions in this second half where they have managed to get in ahead of excuse me, the Lakeland United players and win possession back in dangerous spots. About 17.5 minutes left. They're going to want to try and convert that enthusiasm into goal-scoring opportunities. Because right now it is Lakeland United who are taking a place in the UPSL Premier Division Florida West Conference semi-final. Leading as they do by a score of 3-1. It's Lakeland now looking to build down the right-hand side. It is Takahashi on the ball. Slots it back. Nice little flick through, trying to find Takahashi. Gotta love the idea. I think it was Pereiras. Gonna dig that through the gap. Now we have numbers here from Intercity. Lakeland getting back quickly. That's not going to trouble Mello too much, although he did spill the ball. You cannot blame the Intercity player for going for that. Mello should have really gathered it up without any issue, and instead, I don't know if he was purposely looking to just smother it and then gather it up on the second touch, or if it wiggled away from him, but either way, the ball was not in his possession momentarily, and if I'm an Intercity striker, I'm chasing that down all day long. In the process, though, Mello has picked up a knock. I'd love to see that replay when we have a second. I'll look at that. Better media, always on the spot. So here's the shot from distance. Not particularly stinging. AC Mello spills it. In that fraction of a second, you're an Intercity striker, you have to be contesting that. We're seeing the last goal get played back here for us. Mendonca again bringing the ball down in the middle of the box, drawing the goalkeeper, really giving him no chance. And that restored Lakeland's 2-goal advantage as the players head off for another water break. About 15 minutes to go. Right, the 2-goal advantage. This match still feels very much in the balance. It'll be a breathtaking race to the line, I'm quite sure. So we're just going to quickly watch the goals back. So it was number 5. It looked like it flicked tough of, which is Christian Fevrier-Sildor, not able to clear the ball. Mendonca making the most of it. And this wonderful team goal. And Mendonca assisting on this occasion with this cushioned chest down. Takahashi drilling the ball into the ground and seeing it ping up and over Joffrey into the corner of the net. That was 2-0. Intercity, though, coming close on a couple of occasions.
Substitution for Lakeland United FC.
Before Sarajian made the most of this opportunity. A little hesitancy in the Lakeland defence. Defender and goalkeeper not quite sure what's what there. Sarajian didn't need a second bite of the cherry. Rolling the ball into an empty net. And you saw the 3rd goal just a few moments ago. Lakeland working the ball out of the back. Trying to find some space down the right wing. Win the throw in, excuse me. Ricky Mena leaves the throw. Well, Martins. A little heavy-handed. Knocking Ramos to the ground. He's back up on his feet though and had the ball at his feet. Dinks it into a teammate. Lovely ball over the top. Oh, lovely composure. What great awareness. I thought for a second there was going to be a shot on, but to drag the ball back like that. Try and put it in the path of Ricky Mena. It's very, very smart indeed. Didn't quite drop for him. We've seen that from Lakeland on a few occasions this evening, not least of all in their second goal, but sometimes they just put together these little tiki-taka passes, really smart and skillful. It makes it really hard for the opposition to react because they move the ball so quickly and in many instances unexpectedly, like on that occasion. You're expecting the shot and all of a sudden play gets played into space and the opposition are scrambling to cover for it. Lakeland do have that in their armoury. They're a very skillful and technical team. Very fun to watch. City trying to work their way through midfield. Lakeland players nipping away at his heels, winning the ball back. Now playing it out of the back. Get down into that right channel. Well retrieved by Almeida. No, excuse me, not Almeida, that's Mena. Mena tucks it inside. A pretty wayward shot. It was done very half-heartedly from Pedreras. Mena comes in, slides it inside. Herrera cushions the ball with the sole of his cleat. And then seems to lose enthusiasm when it comes to the shot. Maybe he was just trying to place it. Just trying to pass it into that far corner. Either way, didn't quite get it right. Doesn't add to the score. Intercity trying to take a quick free kick. The referee not happy with the Lakeland United player in the way. Issues a yellow card accordingly. That was Mendonca. To be fair to Mendonca, he didn't really have anywhere to go. I mean, he would have had to have sprinted out of the way to allow Intercity to take that free kick quickly. And I don't really know why, as an opposition player, you'd ever do that. That being said, I don't think he made much of an effort to get out of the way and earns himself a yellow card in the process. So with 10 minutes and change to go, it's Lakeland United in possession and in control, leading 3-1 in this quarter-final game. Nice hustle back from Intercity, but Lakeland retain possession. Working the ball through the middle of the park, out wide to the left. Ramos once again pulling the strings. Instead decides to slide it back on this occasion though, rather than trying to thread the pass. Pass does get threaded. Man in behind. Goalkeeper tries to get his hand to it. It's in the back of the net, but I think the flag has gone up. In fact, I think there were probably two Lakeland players offside. It was a lovely ball, but there were two players, well, at least one player certainly, but there were two players offside by some distance. It was Mena who dispatched the shot ultimately. Thought he'd added his name to the scoring charts. The linesman had other ideas, and I think probably rightly so. Work out there on the left-hand side. Intercity running out of patience as they try and retain the ball. dangerous free kick out here on the left-hand side, and it's Ramos over it. Ramos and I think Francisco Ossano. Yeah, it is. Francisco Ossano is out there too. I imagine it's probably going to be Ramos who dinks this in. Ramos just slides it at Ossano. Ossano back to Ramos. Changing the angle. Now Ramos dinks it into the back post. Finds his skipper. Maybe offside. Yes, he is. Well offside. Miranda ghosting in at the back post, but doing so too early. Might have been a little caught out by the free kick. Maybe he was just expecting the ball to be delivered first time. The short free kick maybe catching him off guard. Either way, Intercity breathing a sigh of relief. And it is they who are now in possession. Trying to find their way through a combative Lakeland midfield. 6.5 minutes still to go, plus any additional stoppage, of which there will be a few minutes. We saw an injury to Mello, and we're seeing injuries now, left, right and centre. 2 Lakeland players going down in quick succession. There's a card being handed to a 4th official there, suggesting that Lakeland are about to make another sub. They've used their roster very effectively so far this evening. They've already brought on 3 or 4 players. They don't seem any of the worse for it. And that's always a great position to be in when you start subbing. And you're really switching out near like for like. You don't see a significant drop in the quality of the team performance. That's certainly been the case here for Lakeland United, as they do indeed bring on another sub, or couple of subs. Sean Kim coming on. Or the 2-goal hero, Vitor Mendonca. Heads to the bench for a well-deserved rest. And that might suggest that Pedro Ivo, the Lakeland coach, feels like this game is largely done and dusted. Whether that thinking is premature or not, with a little over 5.5 minutes and stoppage to go, we will see. I'll tell you what, if Intercity do score the next goal, last few minutes are going to be very nervy indeed. Either way, Mendonca's night is done. It's down to the rest of his teammates now to get this victory over the line.
A yellow card was issued to number 5 on Intercity FC, Christian Silverwood.
It's not my purview to give man of the match, but were I asked to do so, I probably would give it to Mendonca. Closely followed by Ramos, who, as I mentioned earlier, I think has been the puppeteer in the middle of that Lakeland midfield. Really a class act. Lovely ball out to the right-hand side. It's Mena who brings it down out the air, skips away from one. Able to retain possession, but has lost his momentum. Long shot from distance. It's Mena and Pereiras again connecting. Pereiras getting a bit more meat behind that shot than his last effort. Same result though, the ball just going narrowly wide. In fact, it was almost identical. Mena cutting it inside, Pereiras using the bottom of his foot to set the shot. He did drill it with a bit more venom on this occasion, but ultimately it still flashed past that far post. It's been a thoroughly entertaining match, regardless of how the game concludes. I hope you've enjoyed watching this evening. We've seen a couple of really good goals. We've seen a couple of opportunistic strikes. We've seen good performances from players on both teams. We've seen no quarter given, no quarter asked. Really everything you want from a playoff game. 4 goals to boot. Mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast that it was, high foot there. An attempted header from Martins, but I think he caught, I'm not actually sure how much contact there was, but certainly it was a high boot. And given that the Intercity player isn't remonstrating at all, it does suggest there was connection. Yeah, there absolutely was. I'm actually not sure though that it was in the face, which is what Martins is clutching. It looked like the boot made more made contact with the chest, or maybe even the arm. You just saw Martins there shaking his arm out. Whatever it caught something. It was a free kick. Martins does require a little attention. I mentioned at the top of the broadcast it was the battle of the birds, speculating if it would be the swans or the flamingos who came out on top. With less than 2 minutes plus stoppage to go, we can answer that question. We can likely answer that question, for right now at least. It's the swans on top. I don't think that boot made contact with the face at all there. Which is one of the ills of the modern game. Again, fantastic match, wonderful players, have enjoyed every moment of this evening, but you don't like to see players who get hit in one part of their body go down clutching another part. You see that at the top levels of the game, and it's a little distasteful, should we say. Lakeland on the attack. Good work though from Intercity. Last gasp defending, but it's Lakeland back in possession. Looking to craft what will be an absolute killer goal, a death knell in this match. Oh, mistake! Intercity and the ball comes through to Lakeland. Again, good last gasp defending though. Way to dig your buddy out of the hole. Lakeland finishing strong. Intercity looking to release quickly, trying to get to the other end of the field. Good defending from Lakeland though. And it's they now who have the ball out on the right hand side. Hooked inside. Cross to the back post. Oh, goalkeeper makes a little bit of a hash of it. Ultimately it is cleared though for a throw in. Not sure if that was a lack of concentration or if it's just tiredness setting in. You can see a couple of players down, hands on thighs, I think, struggling in these last few minutes, and that's to be expected. It's been a really, really tight contest. Both teams leaving everything out there. And that's exactly what you want in a playoff game. You don't get any second chances. Not leave any gas in the tank. Not leave any opportunities unmined. Do your best in every minute of playoff football. You want to go all the way. That's certainly the attitude that both of these teams have approached the match with. Lakeland United with a shot, high, wide, and not at all handsome. That might be that. We're a minute and a half into stoppage. Obviously don't know how much the referee is adding, but can't imagine there's too much more yet still to go on the clock. I think that had gone out. I think the whole of the ball across the line, but the linesman decided otherwise, and it's Lakeland now, chasing down the throw. Cutting inside, good ball back. Just a little too heavy, and again over the crossbar. A little too heavy for Mena to get onto. And he had a teammate running in from behind him. He wisely left the ball for that teammate. The shot not troubling Joffrey. Nice work out of the back. Feet from Gagliardi. Into City, have to get the ball forward quickly. They are living on borrowed time right now. They do get the ball quickly. Mello gets there first. Lakeland now, running against the tired legs of Intercity. Are they going to get a goal? Are they going to go to the corner? Who gets tucked inside? Great defending.
Corner kick for Lakeland United FC.
You're going to go to ground and do a sliding tackle. Well, that, Hids, is exactly how you do it. Not a moment of hesitation there. Executed absolutely perfectly. All ball, beautifully done. Does result, though, in a Lakeland corner. And again, I asked the question, are they going to get a goal or are they going to keep it in the corner? On this occasion, they're going to try and keep it in the corner, but not successfully. Lakeland win the ball back and win themselves a throw-in. Excuse me, Intercity. Long throw down the line. Again, Intercity, desperate to get the ball forward. But the ball finds its way back to a Lakeland player. And now they're slowing things down. It's Ramos directing traffic. Dinking the ball through to Mena. Mena stands his man up, goes outside him. Again, good defending. Going to lead to a throw-in on this occasion. 94 minutes now. Playing at the referee's liberty at this point. We have no idea how much is left on the clock. But Intercity are not where they want to be. They want to be all the way at the other end of the field. Lakeland United have them pinned back right now. Surely going to be a Lakeland free kick, and that's exactly what they want at this stage of the match. And another yellow card. I think we're up to 5 or 6 now, which feels like maybe a card or two too many. Although it's hard to argue with this one. Amos over the free kick, asking for his 10 yards. Lakeland have to be careful here, because if the free kick delivery isn't on point, Intercity may have an opportunity to break quickly. That being said, Lakeland haven't thrown bodies up en masse. I mean, they don't need to. Ramos, I think maybe that was a shot. The ball comes back to Skipper, who dinks it, looking for that top corner. And though not beating Joffrey. And the final whistle goes. And that's it. We have our UPSL Premier Division Florida West Conference semi-finalists. Lakeland United taking down Intercity FC by a score of 3-1. Intercity left it all out there, did the best they possibly could. Maybe didn't make the most of their chances, particularly in the first half and early in the second. But Lakeland United, anxious to make that semi-final berth, scoring on the 15th minute through Mendonca, who was incredibly impressive all evening. He opened the scoring. It was then Mendonca who assisted this wonderful team goal. All dropped into the box. He cushion-chested it down. Takahashi with the acrobatics. 2-0 until the 30th minute. And Sergian running this ball down. Manages to capitalise on some hesitancy in the Lakeland defence, making it 2-1. Some good work here on the cross, picking out Mendonca again, unbelievably left wide open in the box, dispatching with aplomb. That was 3-1, and that was the final score. It's hard to begrudge Lakeland United that victory as a rain comes down in Florida. They won't care. Intercity will have to lick their wounds as they head south back to Fort Myers, thinking about what could have been had they been able to convert their chances again, particularly late in the second half, late in the first half, early in the second. Great season though from Intercity. They shouldn't be ashamed of their efforts. They had a really good year, but ultimately Lakeland United coming out on top this evening. It is they who will take up one of those semi-final berths as their season continues deep into playoffs. I've been your commentator, Mark Turner, here with the Veta Media team. We hope you enjoyed this match and have a very good rest of your evening. Good night.